in to Kelly and Crack. I am freshly off a plane from a football season wedding. Don't even get me started, Crack. It is very frustrating to travel on an NFL Sunday back home with crappy Wi-Fi, but you never care. You don't even watch the games.
No, I watch the games. I actually do. When I'm done with my Fox show on Sunday mornings, though, people will be surprised. So I do a Fox show with 10 to 1 p.m. Let's use Eastern time. And 1 o'clock, I go out and have breakfast, put my iPad up, and I'll watch the scores on my screens on my Odds Logic screen, try to get the live scores there. But however, I do when I'm done, I come home and I do put on. I don't put on the games per se. I'm a red zone guy.
Okay, me too. Red zone's great.
Red zone, and the iPad next to me, kind of following things, following the scores. And, I'm not betting live, but so I'm not saying that it's not wise to not watch the game. It is. If you're going to watch the games, I don't do live wagerings too often, so I don't really have to be watching every play and everything. And it's fun, though. It's fun to watch it. Look, any given Sunday, anything can and will happen. We've seen that yesterday. There was actually a 14 out here for a second on Green Bay.
Wow.
We have a 14-point favorite going down outright, which that just shows you like anything can happen. I remember I was doing a show at South Point. I had to be the old VSiN studio doing a show about 5-6 years ago. And on a Sunday, we had a 17-point and a 16-point favorite. Both of them lost outright. So anything can happen. That's why these survivor pools are so much fun. By the way, I don't even know this. Kel, are you in any of them? Are you involved?
I have a couple of splash left. The $2.5 million guarantee that we started the season off with. I have one left. I used the Rams yesterday. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because, your other options would have been the Lions, loser, Green Bay, loser, Patriots. I considered, but I like the Falcons plus the points. So I was nice and easy, no sweat survivor pick yesterday.
Do you have Detroit and Green Bay available?
That's a good question. Each one of these was so different, and I was in so many. I think I have Green Bay and Detroit both available as well.
Wow.
Let me kind of look and double check.
How did you avoid Green Bay? That was the best spot for Green Bay. They're not going to be 14-point favorite for a second.
They won't be. So far, this is the big splash, 2.5 million NFL survivor. Started the season, 16,337 people. There are 729 of us left. I lied. I did use Green Bay. I've used the Eagles.
Okay.
The Cardinals, the Bills, the Texans, the Colts, the Packers, the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Rams.
Football's funny, this NFL, though. Look at next week. I seen something. I almost feel like a sucker betting it. I actually seen last night there was a 3 on the Eagles, +3. Green Bay giving the Eagles 3 points next week.
I already put the Eagles in a teaser. I've just been betting a lot of teasers in the NFL. It's been kind of rough sledding.
It looks too easy, and maybe it is, but maybe I'm a sucker. Call me a sucker, but I bet it last night. So.
Listen, I don't blame you. I told you 3 weeks ago, I was sitting there in third place in my NFL contest. Last week was awful. Right now, I am sitting in fourth place after having another good week this week. The Texans cost me 5-0 in the super contest, but I am 77-57 on this season. And the leader is 81-53.
Yeah, no, it really, think about these records too, what it takes to win a contest like that.
It takes you have to strike lightning in a bottle for 18 weeks.
I hate to say this, and I'm not saying it on one of the shows. Not maybe because it's not really sour grapes. Lifetime, I'm not down $1. I'm actually up money in the contest in my life, especially that I won a big one years ago at the end. But I'm not even counting that. I'm not even counting that first year. Let's talk about since Circa and Westgate Superbook. I'm probably about even, but I'm going to put a lot less money in next year. I throw a lot, tens of thousands on these pools a year. And, I look at the Westgate. So at the Westgate, the winner a couple of years ago was like 73%.
Yeah.
Of like 70%. That's crazy. It takes almost 70. Last year was, I think, 69.5.
I think the record's 76%. Those CH Baller guys back in the day.
You're winning over three out of 4 games. In lifetime, it's just impossible. So there's a lot of variance, a lot of luck involved. And listen, I don't care who says what. Even betting the off lines, these contest lines come out on Wednesday, and by the time you could put the picks in 3 days later, some of the lines are off a half a point or a point around the key numbers. That has been a successful strategy, mixing in them with other picks for me, and it just hasn't been the last couple of years. And there's so much luck, even in the Survivor contest. We see the people that are alive. There's a guy I know that has multiple entries, and last week he said he had like 6 entries left, and he wants to sell his pick. They sell their 10% of their entries, and they're asking premiums. And I'm not, even though it's probably worth a little bit of a premium because he has 6 entries and he can play around with them, but there's ways to maybe definitely get there, but not win it, but get further than a lot of people with 6 entries. And I'll just tell you, I'm not paying no premiums on things like, or there's 2,000 people left in the Circle one. At least there was. I don't know what happened this week after the carnage this week.
Oh, there's definitely some carnage. Let's look.
Yeah. But I just don't think I'm going to, when there's still all these entries left, I'm not paying a premium. So in other words, let's say there's 1,000 people left and there's 15 million in the pool, and it's, you have, so literally they'll say, okay, they'll take the 15 million, divide it by 1,000, it's $10,000, whatever. And there are 15,000 bucks, and they'll say, hey, I want 18,000. No, there's no premiums.
All right, Crack, let's back it up real quick.
Yeah, whatever.
As of Thursday night, 21 people played the Ravens. They got through. There was 2,057 entries. 264 took the Packers. 15 took the Lions.
15?
Yes. 1 took the Texans. And wow, four people got really lucky with the Jaguars. So yeah. I mean, we got another 279 knocked out.
How many started? What was in the pool?
Oh, I don't remember. A ton. Well, let's just say 13,000 something, I think.
Yeah. So 1,700. So the entries are probably worth a little less than 10 grand. And,
well, before Thursday, the implied value entry was 9,100. It says.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. 10 grand. I'm just guessing. Yeah. 10 grand. So they'll ask, hey, if you want 10%, it's 2 grand. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting involved in that. Not at this point. Now, later on, when it gets to be a little secret that I've done over the years, later on, when it gets to be 50 entries left, when you're talking about 10%, maybe a lot more money, 50 grand or something, and, you put 50,000 in someone's hand, they're more happy to take 50,000, lock something up, and than anything. So that could happen down the road here. We'll see what happens. And again, it's not sour grapes or anything. It's just that there's so much variance and there's so much luck in these contests. I'm happy to even be lifetime in the Circa Westgate contest.
They're just, listen, these are just fun, right? Like I tell people, like when I owned the proxy service, like I had a guy friend who was married, had 3 kids, had a whoopsie 4th, and his wife was like, you're done gambling. And I told him, I said, tell her this, you'll not gamble. Like you won't use a local guy. You won't bet at a sports book, but let you have $1,000 to enter a contest with a chance to win $1 million, because $1,000 bankroll, you're never going to build that up to be $1 million in the course of an NFL season. So take your $1,000. You happen to hit, 72%, get 3rd place in the Circa contest. Guess what? Your wife is going to be a very happy woman.
Yeah. When it comes to the wives controlling men in this industry, unless you're a degenerate gambler, I don't get some of these guys. Not that I'm no tough guy. I'm not trying to say that, but I was at a game the other night. Oh, Game 7, World Series, Game 7. only game 7, with about 6 people. And throughout the game, we kept on losing guys. And I asked John Orlando, I said, John, what? Yeah, he promised his girlfriend he'd be home by a certain time. The other guy said, yeah, no, he was going to take his girl to dinner, and he told her, he'll be out. It's the effing World Series Game 7. Are you kidding me? Yeah,
listen, I'm sure that my significant other at times wishes that I wasn't a sports girl. Like I get that there's like 2 sides of the coin, but at some points in time, I'm sure you'd just like to spend a nice Tuesday night at dinner and not have somebody be on their phone score watching.
Well, yeah, but agree to go to a different night to dinner. It's the World Series. I mean, you have to set that precedent early. You can't.
Yeah, but men don't plan well. You guys should look at calendars better, figure it out. Go on, go to lunch on a Wednesday. Take her to lunch on a Wednesday. Don't set yourself up for failure when you know the World Series Game 7 is coming up.
Yeah, no, and to be real blunt, like my wife said, let's go. I want to go see The Lion King. It's coming to town at the Smith Center.
You went and saw The Lion King?
No, not yet. It's next. It's in a couple of weeks. So now I have to figure out which days to go, because I was like, listen, it's college.
But you're gonna go.
College basketball season. I actually like The Lion King. I'm a big kid.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked you're actually gonna go to the theater. I wouldn't want to go.
No, by the way, I love the Smith Center.
Okay.
I mean, someone left $300 million to build that. That wasn't enough. They spent like $500 million. It's all gold, marble, beautiful. I've seen some great shows over there. You'd be, if you'd ask what Bill Krackomberger, the biggest surprises in life that people don't know about me, I love musicals. I actually like.
What?
Yeah, I like musicals. I
would have never guessed that.
Yeah, I do. I like La La Land, the movie La La Land, Chicago. I can go on and on. The Greatest Showman. I thought it was. I love.
I've seen none of those. Just for the record.
No, I can't. I don't have time for it. There's a great Billy Joel documentary on HBO right now, 2 parts. I watched part of the first, and I thought it was unbelievable. I just can't get back to it. It's unbelievable, though. I watched an hour of the first episode, but I just it's hard this time of the year. You want to plan stuff. I've never been on.
Well, we have too many sports going on, right? Like the second baseball ends, college basketball begins. Yeah. It's like there was no downtime in between. The NBA's already been underway. NHL's already underway. We've got college football and NFL. I mean, this is the time of year where it's very busy. Plus, we've got all these holidays that you're expected to do things around. Yeah.
No, that's why I said, see me after March Madness and schedule something or another. That NBA playoff time is a good time when it's slow. But yeah, no, it's really tough. It really is. But it's a great time of the year to bet, though. Listen to that. I mean, college basketball started today. Just to give some tips out to people, because I won't do it too much throughout the year, because I'm told that guys like me, when I say something, people don't talk about this. What I'm going to talk about, the bookmakers hear it, and they maybe change some of the juice. They have Westgate and Circa. I can't buy onto 2 or 3 no more for 10 cents. So I hope I didn't ruin it, but I still have some spots you can do it. So in college basketball, I was taught this by the sharpest people in the world. The guys that own Pinnacle in Curacao in the 90s, when I was there, late 90s, early 2000s, they taught me that, you buy onto the 2 or 3. Now, what that means is if you're betting the favorite of a basketball game and you're laying 2.5, no, buy at the 2, -2, -20.
So don't use. I've always been taught if it's under 3, you bet the money line. If it's 2.5 or less, you just bet the money line, depending on the
money line too.
Price.
I believe it or not, I'd rather lay -2, -20 than $1.45 or something. I'd rather lay the games rarely land on 1 in college basketball. 2 and 3s are the numbers they land. And when it's line 2 or 3, you want to make sure, even on the dog, if you're betting a dog +2.5, you want to buy it to +3, +3 -20. Again, you only want to play with the books and buy them when it's -$1.10 extra. So you want to pay $1.20 on the 2 or the 3. You could even do it on the 5. Also, real sharp sports bettor, Alan Boston, who has worked for Billy Walters, and I can go on and on, the sharp syndicates he's worked for, and he's a genius in college basketball. He also taught me to buy on the 2, 3, 5, and so now I have I have the guys that own Pinnacles, Stanley Thompson, who passed Henry, whose real name is Jimmy Everett. We all know that now because he's in the Gambling Hall of Fame, so you can talk about these things. These guys were the genius minds behind Pinnacle, not your typical bookmakers, Jewish, Harvard grad. These aren't genius guys that are like Ace Rothstein. They didn't treat it like it was fun. It was a business. So I know if they taught me that, and I'm still doing that, I'm still buying on to the 2 or the 3. I think it's a good thing for people to know out there. So throughout the year, especially the lower the total, the stronger that buy is. So if a total's 163, you buy on the 2, for the extra 10 cents, it's good. But if a total's 123 and you're buying on the 2, it's extra good because there's going to be less points scored, more likelihood of a game landing on that 2 or 3.
All right, little fun information there from KRACK for college basketball starting today. We've got a couple of questions we're going to answer, and then I'm going to roll some of them over to next week because we kind of got down a rabbit hole that I thought was really fun. KRACK, Monday Night Football is tonight. I asked you before we started the show. You said you've got nothing up at WagerTalk for Monday Night Football, but you do have a play or 2 up in the NBA.
Yeah, up on WagerTalk though, I'm going to have tons of college basketball. I think I put 1 or 2 games up there now. There'll be a couple more here shortly. And throughout the season, that's going to be fun. This is a soft time of the year for college basketball. These first.
Wait, I want to back that up. So I had a buddy text me this morning, Cal, what do you like in college basketball? And I said, right now, I just went 4-1 in the NFL. I had another nice 2-1 week in college football. It's been doing well. And I'm thinking about adding that other sport, especially college basketball, to my plate. And I'm like, call me when college bowl season starts. Do you think that's a mistake? Should I be trying to take advantage early?
Listen, as long as you have good information, that's the key. You're still laying 11-10. Bob Martin, Hall of Fame bookmaker, one of the biggest bookmakers this town ever seen. He had a sign above his office. It said 11-10 built this. Big sign. So it's hard to outrun the juice unless you're getting the best of the line or great information. So if you have good information, even though it's college, it's just like a pro game, you definitely want to be able to have closing line value or have just good information and maybe even bet undercover. So going back to the NFL props, we're going to talk about a player prop. Oh, I put one up on NBA tonight. Okay, let's go. If this, hopefully this comes out in time. James Harden, and I just checked BetMGM over 8.5 minus 120 on his assist. Harden's up against the Heat tonight and guarded by Mitchell, who's really good, he's one of the best defenders in the game, point guard defenders. So what that'll force Harden to pass a ton tonight, given I think a ton of assists. So last season Harden was really good at assists, going over 29 of 39 games. So I like that. I like that game, that over tonight, over 8.5 minus 20. I'm only looking at BetMGM here in front of me. You guys, you could search around there for his assist. Though there's a free play tonight. We're gonna have NBA props. We're doing good in NBA props. We're gonna win. We're gonna win betting proposition bets. It's a matter of if they allow me to bet. I'm allowed to bet only a couple places here in town on props. They don't like winners, sports books. So and it's small market where only 1 or 2 people are betting proposition bets on that particular player. It's the likelihood of them getting opposite action is very low. So they probably don't like when I bet props, I'm sure.
It's going to happen. They probably don't like when I bet college football underdog money lines either. Shout out SMU. Nebraska, not so much after last weekend. All right, we're going to take a couple of these questions really quick. This one I thought was really interesting from Sam Clay. He said, listener from the UK, what comparisons can you make to sports betting in the United States to the UK? It feels like America is very much in its infancy. Is there anything you'd like to see in the US that already exists here in England? Love the show.
No, thank you for your compliment and thank you for your comment here and question. I've never been to the UK. They have what's called betting parlors. They're almost like we have here.
They're great. You just walk in off the street, KRACK.
7-Elevens, yeah.
Literally, it's like a gas station. There's a couple people that hang out. You can get a drink. You can bring your own lunch. It's definitely okay. Remember when William Hill came to Vegas?
Yeah.
And we're like, what is this? This isn't a sports book. That's what
Yeah.
it's because they're a European country. They just brought it over here and said, we
Yeah.
don't need chairs. You don't need to hang around. You need to walk in here, place your bet, and get the hell out of here.
It was great while it lasted, and then Joe Asher threw anyone else with a pulse. You had to go in and give an eye scan, a finger scan. Yep, you got a pulse cam.
I mean, in fairness, I had a really nice run during March Madness one year, and they gave me the boot. So I'm sure that anybody with the pulse definitely got the boot.
Yeah, but to answer his question, I've never been over there, so I don't know how. I'm told though that the UK, and maybe this person can answer in the comments or anyone from the UK. I'm told they're quicker to boot people than here or reduce people on bets. I'm told it was a disaster over there if you're a winner. So it could be bad information. I don't know. Like I said, I've never been over there across the pond. And I'd like to go. There's lots of things. Like there was football games.
I'll answer. How about this, Crack? I'll answer because we've talked about it on the show before. The UK allows political bets. I want to be able to bet political markets here in the United States at legal books. I bet a New Jersey governor 5-1 back in February for it to be Jack. And listen, I had to ship over Bitcoin, and no disrespect to Bet Online. I love those guys, Dave Mason, but like sending out, I got a scan to send over Bitcoin, and then I got to be able to bet it. It's like, okay, you can bet a nickel. And I'm like, I want to bet more than a nickel. I like this bet a lot. If we had it legal here in the US, like they do in the UK, I mean, I know people that were flying over in 2016 to get down millions of dollars on the presidential election. Wouldn't we like to keep those dollars here at home?
Yeah, I'm friends with a big lawyer, and he actually flies over there every election to go bet. So I know that. But now Kalshi's legal in the United States. The Las Vegas Strip had more billboards and neon signs about the election with the odds. Kamala, Trump, they had the back and forth showing the numbers. You have to buy contracts, which, let's be blunt, it's still sports betting. It's still gambling. So Kalshi legal in the United States.
It's just a loop. It's a loophole, right?
It is. Yeah. It's definitely, and now Polymarket's coming. These are, I don't want to call them sports books because that's not what they want to be known as. But
no, but the reality is it is a market. You are putting money into in hopes that you are correct.
Yes, for sure. Like I said, they took out millions of dollars in billboards and ads all over the Strip. People were confused by it. They didn't understand. They seen, there's a beautiful billboard on the corner of Harmon and the Strip, a curved billboard, just really, really cool, right above like Twin Peaks in there and stuff. And they
you see them in Times Square. You see them all over the place. I'm sure they have them in LA as well. I find it really interesting, Crack, because those are the types of markets that I'm still. You even said it on a show previously to me, like, Cal, you should probably be getting involved here. Like you're leaving money on the table by not.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thing that's happening, and they're taking over. So
taking over. You think they're taking over?
The other sports books are so scared they're getting in the marketplace. DraftKings just bought a fight. They're getting in the same contract market thing. Yes, they're absolutely taking. Sports books are going to be left in the dust if they don't do something to adjust. Because the Kalshi, you could just see when they had a recent Monday Night Football, they were announcing the volume they had on their game both ways. It was unbelievable. So much so that Wall Street reacted. The next day, you had double-digit losses in the stock market for DraftKings and Flutter, who is the FanDuel owner. So they're coming. They're coming. They're here. And, it's a post up. So people just think, you don't go down the street to your corner bookmaker. It's something you have to post up through legal, your bank. This is a regulated market. Companies that based out of New York, I believe. I think that's what Kalshi is. But they're in the United States here, and they're legal, and they are taking over the betting world, believe it or not. Listen, you're never going to lose the street bookmaker that you're betting on credit.
No, of course not, because you're betting on credit.
You're betting on credit. You're never going to lose the bookmaker in the casino because you're touching your money after the game. When the game's over, your ticket, you could touch the money. I don't even do that. I bet on apps. I really don't bet at the casino unless I can bet more. South Point takes much more at the counter, so I will bet there. But people, you're never going to lose that core audience. What you're going to lose, though, maybe the customer that wants some value and doesn't want to cash out until the end of the year, or just to have, a couple thousand in an app, and got people that keep their money in apps, in legal licensed apps in the United States, absolutely they're going to be playing a Kalshi, because that's exactly what it is. It's a legal licensed thing. It's like having money in an app. You can withdraw it if you want Monday morning and put it back in Friday. I guess I don't do that. People are crazy though.
That's too much work. It's too much work. And then you got to keep track of like it's a lot. I just put my money in to start the season at Hard Rock here in Florida. And hopefully I never have to add more. That's the ultimate goal, is never to have to add more money to the apps. Crack, one more question before we get out of here. In your early days of professional gambling, how many hours per week did you spend on it? Looking back, what was the worst time spent? Merle Bet wants to know.
Yeah, great question. Back then, I had little or no bankroll, and I was blessed in life to meet someone that changed my life and let me use his $250,000 bankroll. And he's like, "Oh, I play at sports books. If you want to," he worked full time at the time. He was the head of a blackjack card count team, and working for the casinos, by the way, not working for the team. He was working, he was working for resorts in Atlantic City back then, and it was, it was 30 years ago. So it was different back then. So back then, I put a lot of time researching things and having power rankings. And oh my God, we did all our own work. Me and Frank, we did a lot of work on our own. Now it's so much better that I have guys working for me, a team of guys, depending on what sport it is, 2 to 3 to 4 guys. And, one reads, one just does his own ratings and rankings. One comes out with the lines way before the sports books come out with the lines Sunday, so a week ahead of time in football. And it's good to have that. It gives me the flexibility of not having to stay at the screen and working 7. By the way, it was 70 hours a week back then. So the answer is now I'm just a nice sports bettor here, and I will do my own market handicapping. Like yesterday, we had a 14. One sports book in the world had a 14 on the Green Bay game. Even though it's NFL sides, I will bet when I get an extra half a point to a point, especially around key numbers of 3 and 7. Some sports books like the Win. The Win is forced. They're forced to take bets off the casino side. Someone came in the other night and bet a ton of money on the Dodgers.
Superbook's the exact same way. If a casino player who's lost $1 million the night before in blackjack, a lot of people don't realize this. Their casino host calls the sportsbook and says, you have to take whatever they want on whichever side they want.
Yeah, no, for sure. So you'll find some low-hanging fruit if you're with those apps at certain points. I see them all the time. If you're allowed to, if someone comes to town, I always tell them they should play at Stations. They should play at Boyd, which is Coast. They should have a Win account, though, too. If you're in town for more than a couple of days, and if you're serious about betting sports, you definitely want to have those apps financed. You'll see half a points or extra juice, extra money. Like I was saying, the Toronto game the other day, they had a pure scalp on the Win had like plus 135 on the game when it was minus 129 and 131 in town, because they took so much money on the Dodgers from some casino player. They had to try to get some two-way action, which they did.
And that does happen, especially if that person walks in an hour before first pitch, right? Or 30 minutes before kickoff, again, because they're getting that phone call from somebody way higher up than themselves, some casino executive saying, you got to take this $150,000 bet. Even if it does screw up your numbers, you got to take it. So you only have a small little bit of time, hoping those guys sit in front of their odds logic screens or paying attention, and they come in and bet you on the other side and help you mitigate some of that risk.
Yes, perfect words. Mitigate risk. That's exactly what the sports books are looking to do. The directors don't want to take that bet. They don't want to take a couple $100,000 bet 30 minutes before the game.
Well, no, of course not, because they've spent all week. They've got the sharp guys coming in early. Their market is super efficient. They're got an hour before kick. All right, everybody's happy. And then wham, that guy comes in and just screws everything up.
That guy wins, and now you have to explain to the pencil pushers upstairs why you lost for the week.
Pencil pushers.
You have to explain to them when, food and beverage, blackjack, slots, everything's making money, and you get down to sports betting, and you lost 1.5% for the week. They're like, wait, lost. We're a casino. We have to win. We have payroll. We have lights. We have the book. They don't realize that sometimes you lose, but in the end, they can't outrun 11-10. In the end, the sports books make all the money. So
very wise words from the guy from Wisecracks. New episode of Wisecracks going to be out this Wednesday, Crack?
Yep. Wednesday, John and I.
All right, John Orlando, Bill Krackomberger, Wisecracks. You guys can catch it right here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. If you guys are looking to partner up with Crack, wt.buzz/Krackman is his homepage over at WagerTalk.com. Crack, good luck to us on our James Harden prop tonight, and good luck on opening day of college basketball.
Thanks to everyone for watching, subscribing, liking, questions. Appreciate it. All right, Kel, thank you.
Thanks, guys.